Morning guys, so I'm just going to run you through my breakfast, which I won't vlog every single day because it's the same breakfast every single day. I usually go for 40 grams of porridge oats, which is 4 smart points. So yeah, that's what I have every single day because I really like porridge. Sometimes like I mix it up and maybe put like a banana in it or some cinnamon in it or something like that. But usually it's just plain porridge made with skimmed milk. But if I do change my breakfast, you'll be the first to know. Hey guys, so I've just got home from work and I'm absolutely starving. With my shift work, the shift that I'm on is 6 hours, so I'm not entitled to a lunch break. So it's like probably about 2:30 now, and I still haven't had any lunch, but I've had like a banana and a pear to sort of tide me over. I'm kind of debating whether to just like make it through until 5 or 6 o'clock and then have like a really big dinner, which is what I sometimes do. I'm not actually feeling, I don't know, I'm hungry, but I'd rather a big dinner, if you know what I mean. So that's that. I just want to say, I was thinking today while I was in work, I've mentioned a few times now that I'm like 2.5 stone over my goal weight. I'm not 2.5 stone over my goal weight. I'm 1.5 stone over my goal weight. So my goal weight is 9 stone 2 pounds, and then last week I was 10 stone 9. And now I'm 10 stone 6. So that would be, if I was 10 stone 9, that would make me 1.5 stone. So sorry about that. I just want to apologise for that. I don't know how I managed to like add on an extra stone, probably really bad math, but that's me all over. So yeah, 1.5 stone over goal weight, not 2.5 stone. So that's that cleared up. And what else I wanted to explain to you? I don't know, I'll have to come back to you. Okay, I remember, like literally as I stopped filming, I was like, I remember. You've heard me talk about smart points now, which are different for everybody. So when you first join Weight Watchers, you get weighed, and then your smart points are worked out on how much you weigh when you start, your height and your age. I think they're the 3 factors which determine how many smart points that you get to eat in a day. So as you then lose weight through your weight loss journey, your smart points allowance will go down. So either like, I think your dailies should go down. So my daily smart point allowance is 30 smart points a day, and then I've also got 35 weekly smart points on top of that, which I can use at any time during the week. So I could use those extra 35 in like one day if I wanted to. Say if I was going out with the girls or whatever and I was having a meal which was a bit more high in points, then I would use my smart points for that. Or you can use them like spread out throughout the week. Like some people like to use them on, I don't know, treat themselves every day to something, or for things like, I don't know, sauces, or say you just needed a few extra points for, I don't know, some mayonnaise or something like that, or you wanted like an extra boiled potato or anything that like takes you over your daily allowance, you then take out of your weekly smart point allowance. So that's probably really confusing. There probably is an easier way to explain that. So if you didn't understand that, or you want to understand it more, then I can try and explain to you in a different way if you wanted to. Hey guys, I am so impressed with myself. I just made this recipe from the Your Week little magazine that you get every week when you go to weigh in, and I've halved it. It says it serves 4, so everything on there I've halved to make 2 portions, because otherwise I would either just eat it all or I'd freeze it and never really get round to using it because it's a soup. Sometimes they don't freeze very well. But yeah, so I've made 2 portions of it, which just looks like that. And I'm having the 2 portions in one, because bearing in mind I haven't had any lunch today, so I can afford to have it. So it's 5 points per portion, so that would be 10 pro points, and that's including the cheese, which has already been pointed within this recipe. And then I'm also having 2 slices of the Warburton's bread for 3 pro points. So my whole meal is coming to 13 points, which is amazing. I'm going to be eating it with a small spoon so it lasts for longer. And yeah, I improvised with this. I only had purple sprouting broccoli, so it's not as like green as it looks on the picture, but I think I've done a pretty good job. And I have done a taste test and it is blimmin' amazing, and the whole process only took me about half an hour. So, well, it says prep time 10 minutes, cook time half an hour. Today I wanted to take you through how I track my food. I don't normally use one of these paper trackers. I normally enter it onto the Weight Watchers app on my phone, which you can get if you become a monthly subscriber. What's it called? If you pay like a monthly subscription, you get access to eSource, which is the Weight Watchers website. You get access to the app on your phone, which has a lot of useful tools. But you don't have to. You can also pay on the door every week and you will receive one of these, as I do also. And you can write your food down on one of these. So I will flip the camera and show you how I do that. Okay, so I'm not sure how this is going to work out. So here is the tracker. So you put the date in. We don't have to, but I'm going to, just for argument's sake. So it's the 10th of January. So here I can write down all what I've had for like breakfast, lunch, dinner. Anything that goes in my mouth pretty much has to go on here. So for this morning, I will put down porridge, 40 grams. And I know that 40 grams of porridge comes to 4 smart points. So then I put 4 points there. Okay, so I have got 30 smart points for the day. So now I know that I've got 26 smart points left for the day. So I also put down skimmed milk. 1 pint. So I always, from the beginning of going to Weight Watchers, I've always put down 1 pint of skim milk to use throughout the day. Some people do things differently. They make porridge and then measure out how much milk that they've had with that and then add it to like a porridge total. So say they've used 4 pints of porridge and 1 pint of milk, then they put that down as 5. Whereas I like to do it as I've given myself a daily allowance of milk, which is a pint of milk, which is a heck of a lot of milk. I probably don't even use that much milk, but there are some days where I probably do. So I've always put down a pint every single day, regardless of if I'm using some of it or using all of it. So I know for a fact that on this new plan now, that a pint of milk is 7 pro points throughout the day. So then that's my milk covered. I don't have to worry about it for the rest of the day at all. So now I know that I've got, so 30 minus 7 would be 23, minus 4 would be 19. So now I know I've got 19 points for the rest of the day. So I'm going to try and plan ahead and figure out what I'm having for my dinner here. And then for whatever like points I've got left over, then I can usually work out how much points I want for my lunch then. So say for argument's sake, I was going to have prawns tonight. So 120 grams of prawns would be 1 point. And then say I wanted to have that with some like boiled potatoes. So I could have 3 points of boiled potatoes. So then I've got 4 points. So then I would have quite a lot of points left for my lunch. So it all depends on, like, I would say to try and plan your evening meal, because obviously that's the main meal of the day and you really want it to satisfy you and fill you up. Work out what you want, and I would recommend that you stick between the points of about 10 to 13 if you can. And then that would give, so say if you had 13 points, then that would give you like a 6 point leeway for lunch, and you can have a pretty good lunch if you've got 6 points. So that's how I would plan my day. But for instance, today I don't really know what I want for dinner yet, but it will probably be something like fish or prawns or something low like that, because then I can have a slightly bigger lunch, because I didn't get a lunch yesterday. So today I want to make sure that I get a good one, because I'm going to be hungry. So I hope some of that makes sense. And also, when you are working out your points, this is how I use my app on my phone. So basically, I go onto my app and I type in skimmed milk, and then it gives you a drop down bar of like how much skimmed milk you want to use, or how much you've used. So say if you've only used half a pint throughout the whole of the day, and then you click on half pint, and then it tells you how many points are actually in that. When you join Weight Watchers, you get a whole pack full of things which tells you the points of stuff as like a guide. So I will probably show that to you later. I haven't got it to hand with me now, unfortunately. But like, I know these because I've been doing this plan for, well, this particular pointed plan for, this is my second week. So I know that 40 grams of porridge is 4 points, and I have that every single day. So that's just like, it comes to me naturally. Whereas there are some things which I have to go and look up still, because I don't know, because I haven't eaten them yet on this new plan. So I don't know what the new points are for them. So this is that's then how you learn about like how many points are in what, by like literally just go into your book, or go into your app online, or go into the Weight Watchers website if you've got the monthly pass subscription, and you figure out all the points. So as long as you stick to your daily budget every single day, then you will lose weight. But then I've also got, now this is where it can get a little bit confusing for some people. I've also got, so let's put day by that. I've also got 35 weekly points. So say now I go out for lunch and my lunch is, I don't know, 20 points. So then all of a sudden now I've gone over my daily budget. So I've had 27, 8, 9, 30, 31 pro points, and I still haven't got to my dinner yet. So not only have I gone over my daily budget by 1 point, I've also I've gone over it by 1 point. So then I'd have to take that out of the 1 point out of my weeklies. So then I would have 34 points left for the week. So then it comes to dinner time and I'm hungry and I'm thinking, well, I've used all my dailies. So what do? Just go to bed starving? No, that's what your weeklies are there for. So then you would have, if I'd had 20 points from a lunch, that would be quite a hefty lunch. That would be like a treat lunch. You're going out for lunch sort of thing. I'd then have like a really, really low dinner. So like my prawns and potatoes for 4 points or whatever. So then say if I had a 4-pointed dinner, out of the 34 weeklies that I've now got left, because I used one for my lunch as well as the rest of my dailies, and then I'd have 30 left for the week. Okay? So then you can track your weeklies on the front of this here. So I haven't used any of mine here. I've scribbled this out because everybody gets a different set of weeklies dependent on your weight and where you are in your weight loss journey. So I'm only allowed 35, but I haven't used any yet. So if I did use one for my lunch, then I'd cross that out there. and then say I needed to use 4 more to have my dinner because I've used up all my dailies, then you cross out 1, 2, 3, 4. So I've crossed out 5 for the day. Then I'm happy, I've had my meal, I go to bed, and then you are done for the day. So then you wake up in the morning and you get to your next day, and then so with a new day comes a new set of daily points. So then you'd have your full 30 points for the next day again, but you've still only got 30 weekly points left because you've used 5 of them, if that makes any sense. So today I'll have my porridge, I'll have my lunch, which is low, but I'm going out for, say I was for, this is just for example, I'm going out for dinner and I know it's going to be quite high. So say I've used 4 points for my breakfast, 4 points for my lunch, and my pint of skimmed milk. So that's 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 points. I've also got 15 of my daily points left, plus 30 of my weeklies. So potentially I could have a meal out on this night, this example night that I'm talking about, for 45 points, which, you know, you can get a decent meal out and about for 45 points. So as long as you stick within your daily budget, and if you don't, you take it out of your weekly points, you should be fine. Hey guys, so I'm just going to take this brief opportunity to vlog while the girls behind me have disappeared and there's no one actually sitting around me, but I can feel people staring at me from across the other side of the coffee shop, so I shall make this brief. The clip that I inserted of me showing you all the cakes was just to show you that when you do go for something as simple as going for a coffee, you are all of a sudden overloaded, absolutely overloaded with an option of cakes, chocolates, biscuits, croissants, sandwiches, everything like that right at the till while you're choosing your coffee. So it's very clever of the company to do that, and it also, you know, massively increases your chances of purchasing one of those items. I'm actually going to try and find out the points of some of those cakes for you, just to put into perspective how ridiculous it can be for going simply just for a coffee. You can basically consume your whole of your daily points just in one coffee stop. So that's what the purpose of this was. But I'm sitting here with my Americano and my fruit salad, which comes to a grand total of 0 smart points. So I'm chuffed to bits with myself for doing that. It does, you know, it does take a lot of self-control, and when you are with people who don't particularly care about their weight or don't need to care about their weight, and can just eat cakes galore, it's very, very hard to not follow suit with what they're doing, because usually they're the people that say things like, oh, treat yourself, go on, have a cake, it's only a treat, it's once in a while. But that one treat can, like, you know, chuck you off the bandwagon. It can really, you know, it can have massive detriments to what happens to you, not just for the rest of the day, but for the rest of the week you think, oh gosh, you know, I've gone and blown it now, and then you'll go home and you'll just be reckless with what you're eating and not really care and not point it, and then that can then end up leading to having a bad week. So if I'm on like a Sunday now, I could have a bad Monday, Tuesday and Wednesday, and before you know it, I've gained back those 3 pounds that I lost the previous week. So best thing to do is to try and avoid the cakes if you can. Sometimes, you know, it's not always possible, but if you can get somebody else to go and place your order for you so you can stay away from the cakes and little things like that, they're just good little hints and tips. But you know, I'm here on my own, so it's not like that's not something that I can do. But you know, I'm loving this plan so much at the moment, and I'm very excited to be like losing the weight, so that's why I've got like high motivation at the moment. So to keep away from the cakes, for me it was quite easy today. So there we are. So see you later. Bye.